All right, so for this problem, it goes with slide number 8 from the PowerPoint. It is our second Stoich practice problem. In this problem, it's asking us how many grams of aluminum are needed to produce 12.5 grams of aluminum chloride. Remember, for any of these stoichiometry problems, the very first thing that we have to do is balance the chemical equation. Um, for this chemical equation, when I'm looking at the aluminums, it looks like there's 1 and 1. For zinc, 1 and 1. And then for the chlorine, I have 2 on this side and 3 on the other side. Notice that this subscript is even and this one is odd. So for that one, we have to use our little trick to balance that. So if I have an even here and an odd on the other side, a quick fix is to use this subscript as the coefficient here, and then use the subscript here as this coefficient. And then we'll need to go back and balance the aluminums and the zincs based on the coefficients that we just put in. So on this side, we now have 3 zincs, so we'll need 3 here. And we have 2 aluminums, so I'll need 2 here. Next, I'm going to work through the calculation. On this, we're always going to start with the information that we know. So we are given that we start with 12.5 grams of aluminum chloride, and we're trying to get into grams of aluminum. So before we can convert between substances, we always need to convert to moles first. So 12.5 grams of aluminum chloride times in a line. Grams go on bottom because that's what's on top, and moles here. Remember, it's really important to put in your labels, especially in stoichiometry problems, because we're constantly converting from one substance to another. So now I need the molar mass on the bottom, and that's going to equal 1 mole. So I'm going to do aluminum plus 3 chlorines. So that is 27 plus 35. I'm using 35 as my molar mass for chlorine. If you round a bit different from the periodic table, your answer might be slightly different than mine, which is fine. So I come up with a molar mass of 132. So that would get rid of grams. Now I'm in moles of aluminum chloride. But remember, I'm trying to get to moles of my target substance, which is just the aluminum here. So my next step would be the mole ratio step, where I'm going to convert from moles of aluminum chloride into moles of my target substance, which is just aluminum. For this step, this is where the balanced chemical equation comes into account. The number that you see in front of the substance in the balanced equation is the number that you're going to put in here for the calculation. So the coefficient in front of aluminum chloride is 2, and the coefficient in front of just aluminum is 2. So then that cancels out moles of aluminum chloride, and now I'm in moles of aluminum. My last step is to convert it into the target unit, which is grams. So times in a line, moles of aluminum on bottom, and 1 mole of aluminum, it should equal grams from the periodic table. So look up aluminum. I'm going to use 27 grams. I can cross off those because they cancel. And now I just need to multiply across the top. So that would be 12.5 times 1, don't need to do that, times 2, times 27. Hit enter, and then divide by the products of the bottom. 132 times 2 times 1, don't need to do that. And that gives me 2.56, and my unit is grams of aluminum.